Hey guys, Phil here, hope you're all well. What you're looking at in front of you is my Fluke 87v Multimeter. Now, there's nothing wrong with it, it's working perfectly fine. But what I want to do today is I want to wall mount this thing. And the reason for that is I'm desperately running out of bench real estate. So if you stick around, I'm going to wall mount this multimeter. Now, to mount this multimeter on the wall, what I've done is I've created a wall mount, and as you can see, this is it just here. And what happens is where you put your probes at the back of the multimeter to store them, this is where these two prongs fit into, and it enables you to put it on the wall and let it hang on the wall. And also, because you've no space to put your probes now, you can put them in these two slots here. So what I'll do is I'll put this in the back of the multimeter and show you what this looks like. So this is what it's going to look like when it's put on my wall. If I turn it to the side, you can see where those two prongy bits actually go into the multimeter and hold it in place, and then obviously you've got a place where you can put your probes as well. What I want to do now is just take a quick second to show you the model that I created. As you can see, I use Blender to create the model. The reason for that is I've used Blender for quite a while now and I'm pretty confident in using it. But what I want to show you is the way the multimeter basically connects to this mount. And obviously these two prongs here, they go where your probes mount in the back of the multimeter. Now I'm going to show you the spacing. If we measure from center to center, you can see it's 65 millimeters. Now a lot of Fluke multimeters, the spacing will be 65 millimeters. So the best thing to do if you want to know if this mount will work for you is just measure it. And if you measure from the center to center and it's 65 millimeters, this mount will work for your multimeter. Now the final tip I want to give you is about printing this model if you're going to print it. Here it is, here's the model, and I've already gone ahead and spliced it, but I want to give you this tip. If we go through the layers and we move up, you can see I've got 20% infill for the main body, but if you look carefully, these two prongs that fit in the back of the multimeter, if you look, they're solid. So yeah, and that's just to help with the strength, because you want these to be really strong, because obviously you don't want these to snap and your multimeter to fall off the wall, because you know that Fluke 87i average somewhere around about 600 quid and you really don't want to be dropping it. But yeah, so the main body of the thing, I'd make it 20% infill. That's perfectly more than enough. But these prongs that hold the multimeter, I would make them solid, and you can see they're solid compared to the rest of the actual print. Now what you want to do is print it facing down like this, and the reason for that is you've got more surface area, because your printer is going to be doing this as it's printing, and then it starts doing this. If we zoom in, you can actually see the lines. So you've got more surface area there than, say, if it was vertical. You don't have as much surface area. Now obviously the problem with it printing down like this is you're going to waste some PLA, because you've got a little bit of support there to support the actual prongs. But yeah, that's the tip, guys. Print it face down like this, and obviously you want to make these solid infill, but the rest you can make 20%. So yeah, just a quick tip for you there, guys. Time to get this bracket on the wall, but first I want to decide where I'm going to put it, and I think I'm going to put it just here, just above my desoldering gun. Now the probe wires are going to hang down, but I've made a little bracket for that as well to tidy them up and get them out of the way. But yeah, that's where I'm going to put it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to spend 5 minutes with a spirit level and marking it out where I'm going to drill the holes. So yeah, I'll do that and then I'll come back. Everything's marked out. I've marked the holes out. I've got my drill and drill bit ready to go. And now a top tip, guys, because this is a plasterboard wall, basically a stud wall, this is plasterboard, and when you're drilling you get dust everywhere, and it especially falls downwards. So what you do is you create a little trough like this, a bit of A4 paper and some masking tape. I think you Americans call this painter's tape. But yeah, if you set up that, what this does is when you drill, it catches the dust. So yeah, I'm going to drill those holes out and then whack some roll plugs in there. And that's the holes drilled, and if you take a look in there you can see all the dust that would have fallen on the floor. So yeah, what I'm going to do now is get some roll plugs in there, and then I can screw in the wall mount. Roll plugs are in, time to screw in the mount. And there we go, wall mounts on the wall. What I'll do later on, guys, is I'll take some black paint and just go over the top of these screw heads, and it will blend it in and you won't be able to see it. Now I know what you're asking, is this thing level? So let's have a look. That thing is nuts on. Winner winner. So, moment of truth. Let's have a look what it looks like with the multimeter on it. Oh, look at that, fits like a glove. Fits like a glove. That's a winner right there. Winner winner, wall mount dinner. And as you can see, this is what the final product looks like, and it's looking really nice. As you can see, if you look here, I painted those screw heads black just to blend them in a little bit better. What I'll do now, guys, is now I know this works, I'll release the STL files. So if you want to print this thing, you can do. Just remember those two prongs, they have a width between the center of them as 65mm. So if your multimeters probe connections there at the back are 65mm, it will fit this mount. But yeah, that thing's looking great. It's on the wall. It's pretty solid as well. It's not going anywhere. If you take a look down here as well, I made a little cable management system for the probe wires. The reason for that is obviously I've got my desoldering gun here and this thing gets hot and I don't want my wires to get anywhere near it. But yeah, there you go, guys. That thing's looking great. Like I said, it's pretty solid. It's not going anywhere. It's Phil from the future here, guys. The reason it's Phil from the future is because I've changed the design a little bit. The reason I've done that is I show you here, I wasn't happy with this gap in between the probes. So what I did was I basically chopped it here and I moved this one along and butted it up against this probe, and I'll show you the new one. And there it is, and hopefully you agree that looks a lot better. Now doing that, obviously we've lost this screw hole here to mount it on the wall. Now that will leave you with 3 screws to mount it on the wall. That's more than enough. unless your probes weigh a ton. I'm exaggerating, but that'll be fine. Also as well, what I've done is I've changed this, and I'll show you that now. And there's the new one. It's just one big hoop now, instead of 4 little hoops. And the reason for that was, it was just a little bit fiddly getting the 4 probe wires out, where if you've got one big hoop it's a lot easier. And like I said, you don't really need to print this. The only reason I did that was just so I could tidy the wires up and get it away from my desoldering gun. Also, what I've done, guys, if you have a look at the STL files that I'm going to release, is I've mirrored this. So what that means is you can either have the probes on the right hand side like this, or you can have the probes on the left hand side. So you have a choice now which side you can have your probes. But yeah, just a quick update from the future. I've changed the design. I've just moved this down a little bit, and now this is mirrored, so you can have the probes on the right hand side or the probes on the left hand side. And obviously I changed this and made the loop a little bit bigger. So yeah, there you go, guys. I can now wall mount my Fluke 87v, and it looks really nice on the wall. So yeah, hope you liked the video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe, all the usual stuff, and as always, I'll catch you on the next one. Winner, winner. Catch you next time, guys.